All right, yeah, we're gonna get into it today. Today, I'm gonna talk about going from a 500 credit score to creating a credit repair business, doing over $500,000 a year. First, I want to get into like my story. Like, I came from the rental car industry, and I got into it thinking that I was going to be able to get a $80,000 car with bad credit. So I think I told you this story, but I'm gonna retell it for the purpose of people hearing it. I went to go try to get a Hellcat out the gate. So me coming in with a 526 credit score, I'm thinking I'm about to get an $80,000 car. That's not even the worst part. I thought I was about to get that car with $0 down. And then I'm trying to get the car zero down, ended up getting denied. And I'm like, hey, what do I got to go change to get it done? So I figured out this thing called credit repair. So I went and paid LexisNexis $1,000. Like 6 months later, no results. I paid two other companies over like a year and a half, had zero results. So I'm a year and a half in, $2,500, zero results, still like using the cash trap. Like I was using all of my cash to pay for stuff, and it didn't make sense. I'm trying to scale my business.
Mm-hmm. So basically in the beginning of that, like what like triggered you to like mainly do that? Like to get that Hellcat?
Got you. So I already had, so I was spending like all of the cash I was making in my rental car company. I was spending all of my cash already, where I was buying, like, I had like the regular Challengers, like the V6 ones. I had like the Scat Packs and the RTs, but I wasn't accumulating enough cash for a Hellcat. So I'm looking at other rental car companies online, and they utilizing and they leveraging credit to get cars. So in my mind you, at this point, I don't know the first thing about credit. So I'm thinking it's as simple as just going to the bank or going to the dealership and getting an $80,000 car, because that's how simple people make it look. You know, social media lied to you.
Yeah. So like, how long was that process for you to get that Hellcat?
So I ended up leveraging a business credit card and got one later. So the process is once I got denied, I like over those year and a half of trying to get it through other people, what I did was I leveraged I figured out how to fix my own credit, got up to about a 740, then I went and got a Tesla, then I went and got business credit cards. And then from that point, I leveraged business credit cards to buy cars from there. So it's not that I went and got a car loan. I just leveraged the business credit card, took the cash off, and then went to go buy a car.
So you're saying credit cards as a plural. So how many business credit cards did you get to get them loans to get the cars that you wanted?
I mean, I had a lot. So I would say I had about, at the time, I don't know, because I had like five of them just through American Express. Mm-hmm. I had two of them from Bank of America, one from Chase. So if I had to guess like a number, because I don't know exactly how many credit cards I had, I'd probably say around 10 at that point.
10 cards?
Like 10 business credit cards. And they was all, none of them was like reporting on the personal side. It was all business credit cards.
Oh, okay.
So I started leveraging that to purchase the stuff that I wanted to. And then I was able to keep my cash versus spending my own money, because that's the easiest way to get rich. Leveraging other people's audience, leveraging other people's money. And then the most important thing is coaching, leveraging other people's experience. So business success loves speed. So you go out and pay somebody to spend 10 to 20 years already doing what you're trying to do, that already hit your goal twice, and you pay them for information, they're going to get you there in a tenth of the time. It only makes sense to pay for information.
So how much information have you typically paid for to get where you at now?
Like how much? So right now, or at the point, like at that point?
At that point.
So at that point, like I think I bought like a $500 course. Like I wasn't spending that much money on it. I bought like a $500 course. And for like the Bank of America, where I got the car for $0 down, mm-hmm. I paid like $1,500 for somebody to teach me how to do that. So I'd probably say I was like $2-3 grand all in information. And then I was just like implementing at that point. Like I was buying like credit repair letters and stuff. So I say like $2-3 grand.
So where do you think you are now? Since you like,
and just information and like mentorship?
Yeah.
Woo! I'll probably say like I probably spent about, if I had to guess, like I say around like 100,000, just like on different mentors, getting the mentorship. But it's like my strategy. My strategy is not. I don't ever get into a mentorship to. I'm not trying to get through like the whole 6 weeks or the 8 weeks. I'm paying you to solve a specific problem. Like let's just say like my last mentor, I got into that mentorship to figure out how to sell one to many. Like I wanted to figure out how to launch a webinar. So that was my goal to get in there. So once I figured that out and I got it set up, I probably won't show up to the rest of the classes because I got the information I need.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like at any other phase. Like when I had a sales problem, I hired a mentor to help me with sales, so on and so forth.
So in that case, like, have you ever like, is there like how should I say this? Like, is there a mentor that you paid for? Like, let's say 5,000,
Right.
and like you feel like you didn't get 5,000 like worth of that information, like.
Yeah, got you. So that's actually a good question. So when you say that, I don't think that's a such thing. Say if I buy into the community, if I pay 5,000, I'm not leaning on just the information in that mentorship to make money. I'm gonna leverage the community. So think about this. There's gonna be like-minded people in the community. You can collab and partner up. Say if you figured out, let's say if you master sales and you leaning on that, and you got somebody else in the community that masters systems, you can help them with sales just like yesterday. Like you came in and I was on a Zoom with somebody I met in the mentorship.
Mm-hmm.
And we gonna run up 6 figures plus this year together just by leveraging each other. So if you understand systems, I understand sales. I'll teach you how I did my sales. You teach me and help me with my systems. And then we both like level our business up from there. So if I'm not going to make the money off the information and the mentorship, I'm going to make it off the community.
Okay.
So long story short, if I spend my money, I'm going to get my money back.
Yeah.
So it's just the way like how you look at it. Like some people got a negative mentality of, oh man, I went in here and this mentor, he didn't have all of the information I was looking for and I didn't make no money. Like that's not a thing. Like if you're a hustler, you're gonna figure out how to make your money back.
Okay, so out of all the times we talked about mentors and all that, like, is there somebody that was like fraud to you that you like thought like, man, like he made it seem like it was this and I paid this amount of money, but like he really didn't give me what he was selling me on? Like, have you got anything like that?
So I can't say that I experienced that just because of like what I just said. Like my mind don't work like that. I'm not looking for the negativity or looking to say this person scammed me. I'm an opportunist. So when I'm in a mentorship, I'm looking for an opportunity to make money. I'm looking at it as like, okay, I can do this. I'm gonna leverage the community, like I just said, or I'm gonna leverage this information because I'm obviously gonna do my research before I even pay somebody.
Mm-hmm.
So if I do my research on this person and I look like, okay, this person got results of making $2 million doing this, and he give me his system, even if he give me half of his system, I'm still going to figure out how to leverage something in that program to generate more revenue in my company. So it's just like my mind is, I can never think like, hey, I got a mentor, this is a scam, or this course didn't work. That's because of your mindset. You just got to figure out how to make it work. That's, as entrepreneurs, that's what we got to do.
Solve problems.
Like I got into programs that wasn't as organized, and I feel like oh, I thought like I had an expectation that it was going to be more information, but that was just, I used to have an unrealistic expectation. Like I used to be one of them people that Googled like how to become a millionaire, and I thought that it was a secret that people had that I didn't know. It's just consistency, speed, getting a better system in your business, more ads, getting in front of more people, and selling faster. And that's what I learned. It's not a secret sauce. It's just build your system up and build your business out the right way.
So, what is some advice that you'll give somebody get like on what they would expect into getting into mentorship? Like, it's their first time they got somebody that they want to pay, but they don't know what to expect or like what to say or how to feel. Like, what is some advice that you would give?
Got you. So I would say if you looking to get into mentorship, I would say first thing is you got to make sure you got all your stuff in order. You got to make sure you're ready for that program that you're getting into. And when you get into a mentorship, this can be a mentorship, a course, it can be a mastermind, an inner circle. It can even be like a free community on Facebook, whatever that look like for you. Make sure that you're ready to execute. Like just like what I was telling you today when we was like creating content. Most people will take what somebody tell them to do and they'll recreate it how they thought of it in their brain. And then when they put it out, when it don't work, they're going to go back and blame that mentor. You didn't do what he told you. You did your version of what made sense to you, how you thought to do it. Excuse me. And that's why it didn't work. That's why it's like when it comes to business, you have to follow. You can't skip steps. You got to like, if somebody give you a system that works, why are you trying to recreate the wheel when it already worked? You got a proven strategy in front of you that works. Make sure you execute the information that they give you step by step, and then you can judge it from there. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So, based off on that knowledge right there, like, what is the best like advice that you think you should do for somebody shooting content?
The best advice for somebody shooting content,
like beginning stages.
I would just say,
what you just said.
I would say, be confident. Make sure this like your content has a purpose. Like, make sure before you shoot the content, you know the purpose of it. Like, let's say we're talking about for entrepreneur, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So let's just say, like, make sure that the information you giving out, make sure it actually helped the person that you're trying to reach. Make sure if you're shooting content to put out there, I would always say never try to sell on your content. Your content is a way to show people that you are authority in the space.
Okay, so far we got confidence, not selling.
Right.
Most of them.
Educate. You want to educate. You don't want to sell.
And your purpose.
CTA. You always want to have a CTA on there.
So purpose.
A call to action.
Education, call to action, purpose. And what am I missing?
CTA.
I already said CTA.
That's the advice that I would give.
Okay.
I'm not a content coach, but I will say that my content like do well enough to like teach people what it is that they need to do. But to get back to the credit repair business, like the turning point was my struggle was I wasn't putting money into the business. Like I wasn't like say if I made 10,000, in my mind is my 10,000. So all of the money that I was recouping in the beginning, like once I figured it out, I hired a mentor. This is once I get into credit repair. I hire a mentor. I figure out the how, right? The how and the what. So once I figure that out, I start implementing. So I'm not running ads. I'm not doing the little things that I need to do in my business. I'm not hiring appointment setters. I'm just making money off of posting content and taking that money and keeping it. And I kept wondering why I would go to from 10,000, I'd be down to 8,000, 7,000. And then to be honest, like I'll have months where 1,500. I had months where I went in the hole. But that's the things that people don't talk about in business. Like the way business actually work is if I say I made $120,000 in business, most people think like, dang, you made 10,000 every month. Nah, it don't work like that. You might have a month where you made 15,000. This next month, you might only made $500. This next month after that, you might have came back and made 5,000. So it's just like, it's a roller coaster ride. And that's why I say it's like people that can stay in business and be profitable for years, you got to be a mentally strong person to do that. But you also got to have a really good system like set up. So it's like once I like set up a system and started running my business the right way, that's when it became easy. When I had a client acquisition, like I had a real strategy on how to bring consistent leads into my business. That's when everything changed for me. I would say that was my turning point.
Okay. And from your turning point, where do you think you go from your turning point to now?
So my turning point was I learned how to consistently get leads. And it go back to the 5 principles I teach in business. And I'll always start here. It's just like when you playing basketball, when you shooting. If you shoot, hey, it went a little right. Okay, well, let me straighten out my elbow and make sure I release here. My business fundamentals, when I think of, first thing I think, are we getting leads? Are we closing on sales? Are we delivering on the promise? Are we profitable for the price that we charging? Now are we getting consistent leads? I get every business that's struggling and is not making money, they are missing one or more of those things. If you hitting all 5 of those on all cylinders, your business is going to be profitable. You're going to make money. It's the fundamentals of business. Like everything come back to those 5 things, and those are the 5 principles we teach.
Okay. And can you say them five again?
So the first thing is getting leads. The second one is making sure you closing, making sure you're getting sales. Make sure you're delivering on a promise, which is the most important thing. Making sure that you're profitable on a price that you're charging. And the last one is making sure you're getting consistent leads. Because that's the thing. And that's why people numbers fluctuate. And when I said my numbers was fluctuating, it was because we wasn't getting consistent leads. We didn't have an actual system where we were getting consistent leads coming into the business no matter what.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, consistency is key for everything.
Right. But it's like when you get into business, most people don't know how to get clients. Most people don't know where to go to get clients. Most people don't know who their target audience is.
Most people don't know what their own niche is.
That's real though. That's why you got to get real specific in business when you're looking to make money. You got to understand who you need to be talking to. Like it get down to the point of I know my demographic too. I know the age range. I know how much money they make a year. I know what they struggling with, and I know where to go find them. So if I run an ad, I know exactly everything to click to the T in order to get my ideal client. So when we get on calls, we're not dealing with people who don't have the money. We're not dealing with people who want credit repair. We're dealing with people who need credit repair or who got the means to get it done.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's where a lot of entrepreneurs miss out at, like on the leads, because if you ain't got leads, you ain't got a business. That's just my opinion on it.
If you don't got leads, you don't got a business.
No, because if you're not generating money, it's like you don't have a business. Like if you're not generating income, like it's not a business. You're not making money.
So if somebody wants to start, you would consider them not as a business yet?
Nah. So okay. So you got like side hustle. You got self-employed, which is what most people start off at. Then you have once you start hiring people, it's levels to get into the CEO.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be self-employed first. You're gonna be an entrepreneur, then you'll be a CEO. There's two types of CEOs. You got makers and you got managers. A maker is the person who's creating and scaling the business and getting revenue to it. Then you got the manager that's overseeing it, that's doing the work that makes sure it's running the right way. So just think of your business as a motor. The manager is more like the mechanic. Hey, we got to make sure we put oil in here. We got to make sure there's gas in this car. We got to make sure the starter's good. That's the person that's making sure this well-oiled machine is running the right way. Then you got the maker. That's the person that's like, so we add a supercharger to this. Should we change the color? That's the person that's overseeing it, that's looking like, okay, we can approve that. Let's change this and let's add some more of that. But both of them are super important to run a business.
Mm-hmm.
When you get in there as self-employed, you're wearing all of the hats. So that's why it's so hard for self-employed people to scale the business, because they stuck in it. Like, let me just give you an example. Like, you have a content company. So if you're the salesperson and you're closing people at $2,000 a month, when it's time to edit, if you're the editor, that's a $4 an hour job. So when you go to edit, is it worth your time to edit for $4 an hour when you can make $2,000-$3,000 per client over here? You got to stay here and make $2,000-$3,000. You want to do this job. Mm-hmm. You don't want to fall into this $4 an hour job. And that's what we get stuck in. We get stuck in busy work. We get stuck in that low energy work.
Mhm.
And that's why it's so important to build a system and have SOPs for your business, which is a standard operating procedure for those who don't know, which is you got hour by hour templates on everything you need everybody on the team to do for your business. And let me say this, because I know a lot of people hear that and they'll be like, oh, yeah, man, I need to create an SOP. I need to hire people. How do you know when to hire people? And you ain't asking me this. I just know the answer because this is something I struggle with. How do you know to hire people when your bank account tell you? How do you know when to, and let me elaborate even more on that. How do you know when to quit your job? When your job is costing you money. When you being at work, you're losing out on making more money consistently. When you're consistently missing out on making more money, that's when it's time to walk away from your job. When you got a formula like, hey, I can make X amount of dollars doing this, and when I'm away at work, it's costing me double when I'm making at work, then it's probably
People
time.
want me to come, but I can't because I got a schedule on my main job, and I can't make that time with them.
Right. But you got to make sure that the system you have is a well-oiled machine on how to get consistent clients. That's why that's one of the principles. It's good. So that's why that's one of the principles that I put into business. They always fall into them 5 principles. Everything where you fell into business, it always one of them is going to come back to them principles. It's always going to come back to that. That's the basic foundation on how business works. It's not nothing I made up. It's not nothing you made up. It's the way it works. So it's like, don't get in business and try to recreate the wheel. Like some people get into it and they try to be too creative. Like there's always a system to work. Like if I get into a business, I'm looking for the blueprint. I'm looking for somebody that got proof of concept that already done exactly what I'm trying to do times 5. And as soon as I'm about to have these hiccups and make the mistakes, I can pay him. Think about that. You can pay somebody for information because the most important thing is time. You can pay somebody for their time. Say if somebody spent 15 years on this thing that you don't understand, you pay them. They're going to tell you step by step how to save yourself 15 years. And there's some people that think like, oh, mentorship is too expensive. I don't want to do that. That don't make sense. How?
I mean, people don't understand that, but even that in my space, like say for example, I play quarterback and I've been playing quarterbacks I'll say my freshman year of high school, right?
Yeah.
But I've been playing football in general for like almost 10 years before that. So I can say that I know this knowledge. So it's like me going out to coach, not volunteer, but actually coaching, is because I can give out the game that I know myself because I've been doing it for so long. And so I get it. It's like the same way in business pretty much. Like these people have been doing this for so long, but you're not paying them for their like information at the moment, but you're paying them for all the years that they've been doing this stuff basically, right? So kind of like, is that how you explain it?
Yeah. So, and that's the thing though. And that's something I learned in business. Like that's the 9 to 5 mentality though. Think of it. When you go to work, you get paid an hourly wage, correct?
Yeah.
They pay you for that. That's the thing. People come into business and they bring that employee mindset in. Like, hey, if you make $20 an hour, you do something for 3 hours, how much you getting paid?
60.
Business don't work that way. Listen, if it take you, let's just say me and you in the same space, and we're selling a service. If it take you 6 months and you charging $1,000 to do the service, let's say if my system is a lot better than yours, and it takes me 2 weeks, and I charge $10,000 to save you 5.5 months. Is that worth it? I'm saving you 5.5 months. I shouldn't get docked for being good. Why would I charge the same price or charge less because I can do it faster? You're not paying me for how long it takes me. You paying me for a good service. You're paying me for efficiency. So if I can get something done 5.5 months faster, I would agree that you should pay me for speed. Same thing with and that's why I like delivering to first-time home buyers. When you do credit repair for the regular person, most people say credit repair take 6 months to a year. I figured out a way, and we have a method where we can get somebody's credit fixed in anywhere from 30 to 90 days. So I'm charging you more for speed because I'm fixing people credit who need their credit fixed yesterday. So I can charge more than other companies because we have a system where we can do it faster. So you charge for speed. You shouldn't get penalized for being good at your job.
But is that guaranteed though?
Yeah, we got a 45-day money back guarantee.
Okay.
So, and that's the thing. Like, don't think so. CEO and employee is the total opposite. It's not the same. So the mindset of how an employee think and how a CEO see it is totally different. I only want to work 5 to 10 hours a week. So I know I just got to build my system and my team out so I'll be able to delegate the tasks that I need every day for them. So the low energy tasks that I don't want to do, like I don't want to be responding to emails all day. I don't want to be on the phone doing phone support all day. I don't want to be the person disputing. I'd rather pay somebody to do that and focus on scaling the company, sales. How do we take the company from 100,000 to 200,000? How do we get from $500,000 to $1 million? That's the type of stuff that I want to do. I want to teach my community versus working on a business. I want to help other people scale their companies as well. So it's just all about doing like, I would only want to do skills in my business that pay out high income because when you got goals of making more money, then you got to do. It's not a fact that don't think that when people say that you got to work harder. No, you got to work smarter. You can work as hard as you want to work. I'm gonna work smart. Mm-hmm. If it's an easy way to do it, I'm gonna implement it. Even like leveraging AI. There's so many parts of your business that AI can run for you. But a lot of people don't want to leverage AI. They want to wear many hats and do it themselves. Mm-hmm. Or they will brag about being self-made or figuring it out or doing it themselves. I'm not that guy. Mm-hmm. I'm going to make it as simple as possible for myself. So I want to go into like leveraging credit. So a lot of people don't look at credit to leverage. Like we look at, don't think about how your parents taught you how credit worked. Get a credit card, pay it on time, be responsible. When you get credit, leverage it with assets. If you got $10,000 worth of credit and you understand real estate, invest that into real estate. Get a cash flowing asset. Or if you don't want to make that big of an investment, get you an economy car. Like I started out in the rental car space because it's easy money. Get in the rental car space and put a car on Turo. Turo going to do the marketing for you. All you got to do is make sure you exchange the car to your customer. You could even get a, what do they call it? The key to go into the door. You can get like the door key and you don't even have to be there. You can just have it in a drop box. That's what it is. It's the key drop box. You can put a key in there. You can have a $3,000-$4,000 car making you $1,000 a month off of just leveraging your credit. That's not no money that came out of your pocket. That's you being responsible, paying your bills on time. Now you're doing well with that car in a couple months. You figured it out. Let's scale to 2 cars. Let's scale to 3 cars. Even if you're not looking to get rich, just use a couple vehicles to be able to pay for your overhead. Let's say if your overhead every month is $4,000, you need 4 cars, and you're gonna leverage credit cards to do it. But be responsible and take some of that money and pay those credit cards back. All that money is free money. You're using somebody else's money, and you're not marketing, so you're not actually doing the business side of it. Like find something.
Like a little labor.
Yeah, like washing the car, getting it ready. But if you got like a mechanic and somebody to wash the car, which is, I wouldn't say do that early on. I get to like 3-4 cars and then start thinking like that. Mm-hmm. But it's simple ways that when you get these credit cards that I talk about, leverage it with an asset that's going to make you money. Don't do something that's going to cost you money. It just don't make sense because you're going to end up in debt and you're going to end up right back at a credit repair company. I'm going to be fixing your credit again in 6 months. Excuse me. I do it all the time.
Just by people not following the regular directions.
So, and I think I'm going to have to say this a million times. Most people don't have a credit problem. Most people don't need credit repair. people need to make more money to afford their lifestyle. Like I'll give you an example. Like I turned a client down probably earlier this week. What is it right now? Thursday?
Wednesday.
Wednesday. So maybe Monday. I had a client that came to me. They had 7 accounts. And we talked about this off camera. They had 7 accounts and it was a few credit cards, a mortgage, and 2 cars. And they was late on them. They was like 4 months in the hole on them with late payments. And they was coming to me and they was trying to pay me to repair their credit. And I was like, it doesn't make sense for me to repair your credit because I asked them, I was like, are you going to be able to pay these bills next month? And they said no. So I was like, let's say best case scenario, I remove these late payments. Next month, you're going to be right back in the same spot because you're going to have 7 new late payments. So that's a financial literacy problem. That's you needing to understand that you need to, if you're making $15 an hour, the first thing you need to do is find a job that's going to pay you $20 an hour, $25 an hour. Make more money first. Get your personal finances in order before you get your credit fixed. Like what I was talking to you about earlier. If you about to run up a whole bunch of more new late payments, there's no point in fixing your credit. It doesn't make sense. We'll be right back here in a couple months.
Yeah, that's. Yeah, I don't even like the logical thinking of that is like kind of crazy. Like, what makes you think that you fixing the credit is going to fix that? Like you said, like that's kind of common sense, bro, in my opinion.
But it's not because it's financial literacy. Most people don't have the education. So you got to understand that some of us like, and I'm going to speak for myself, and I don't know if it's other people in this situation, but I come from poverty. So I was taught by people with poverty mindsets. Just like I said earlier, we grew up like we had parents that told us, pay your bills on time. Just like we talked about in the last podcast, the 3 levels of how people think. What keep people poor is not how much money they got access to. It's their mindset. Poor people mindset. They think paycheck to paycheck. They take all of their money and they spend it on bills. The first problem they need to solve is they need a higher paying job. So they need to make more money. Even if you got to work day and night on getting a skill set for a higher paying job. That's the first problem you need to solve. Middle class people, they got problems too. They have good credit, but they use good credit to buy things they can't afford. And rich people mindset is much different because we talked about mentorship in the beginning of this. Rich people spend their money as on things that's going to make them more money. Money is a tool. Money is a way to leverage stuff for rich people. So it depends on how you see money. Your view on money is going to determine how much money you got. Because if you stay at that poor level, it's just how much income you bring it in. You need a higher income skill set.
That's like gonna be forever a bar.
It's real though. That's the mindset that people. That's the mindset shift that people has to have. You have to shift your mindset. Until you do that, you're going to stay there because you got mental blockages. You got these roadblocks that you created in your mind that's not real. It's not a real place. You made it up. Just like we talked about it a few weeks ago. Whatever you say, understand that you made it up. So why not make it something positive? Why not say, hey, I'm broke as hell? Why not say, hey, I'm putting myself in a position to make more money. I'm going to have a better job. I'm going to work on myself. I'm going to work on my confidence. I'm going to work on my self-esteem. I'm going to go to counseling and get over this depression. I want better for myself. If you're going to make up something that you say, why not have it be something positive, something that's going to help you?
Yeah, facts. That's the best way in anything, in my opinion. Like, everything that you do should be helping to help you grow at the end of the day.
Right. Even if you say, I'm the best, that could be manifestation. You could be manifesting that. The only thing you got to do different is work like the best. Like, and this is the crazy thing about it. You got people that, and this is not me talking down on nobody. You got people that's broke, if you would use that word. You got people that's not good at the thing, and they're letting people that's way ahead of them in a good position outwork them. That's the one thing you can control is effort, your output. You cannot let people behind you outwork you. You can't.
That's the only way you're going to be able to scale and do better than anything, though, is working. That's what we're here for right now, is to get this work done.
And that's the thing, like you just gotta, and that's the thing, like I would say, like for those who struggling, and it's like we in like week 3 of this year. For those, and they say that most people give up on their goals February 1st.
Mm-hmm.
Only thing you need to change is you need to be an executor. So it's like with me being a mentor now, I've noticed the best students I have, it's not the smartest ones. It's the ones who execute. It's the executors. It's the ones that can take a simple task I give them, one, two, three, and execute it exactly how I told them to do it. And do that and give me more information. Let me execute more. Those are the people that get ahead. Those are the people that's going to get to the next level. Those are the people who's going to be successful. The one who can follow instructions. Because to be a leader, you got to be a great follower first.
Mm-hmm.
It's a process. Like I never not want to be the student.
That's a bar. I never heard that before. To be a leader, you got to be a great follower.
You have to.
By a great leader, though, you gotta have
if
that.
because if you're telling somebody, "Hey, follow me, do this, do that," if you were great at it, you know how to teach it to them because you did it. Imagine you trying to lead somebody. You're telling them to do something that you've never done.
Mm-hmm. That's real. Yeah, that's a bar for sure.
And it's something that people don't think about. So I would say when it comes to business, make sure you fix your system. Always hire a coach. If you're not in a position to hire a coach, use AI, buy ebooks. But the most important thing I would say is get started and go for it. Like, what are you struggling with, like as far as your business?
Like we talked about earlier, consistency. But I feel like again this year, this got to be a year. I got people like you to push me to keep going. So
What's on your calendar?
So my calendar, I pretty much got like next week. I got
No, like what's on your calendar for today?
for today. Pretty much just came here to shoot this, shoot some personal content for myself. And that was pretty much it for real.
So when you trying to do better, I would say do this. So if I got something like on a vision board, I mean, you know this, vision boards don't work for me. If it's not on my calendar, it's not real. Mm-hmm. So the first thing I'm gonna do is every night, like tonight, when I get done shooting content, I got like a couple more things to shoot after this, like for my group. I would say do this. Every night before you go to sleep, plan your next day. Go into your next day with purpose. So the first thing I'm gonna do is like, oh man, I need to do this. I need to build this system. I need to make 3 pieces of content. So now I'm gonna go to ChatGPT and I'm gonna make a list of all of the things I need to do for the next day. Hey, I need to do this, I need to do that, and I need to do this, and this is the details of how I need to get it done. This is everything I need to get done tomorrow. Can you make me an SOP for the day to get all of these things off my checklist? And now you take everything it gave you hour by hour and you put that into your calendar. So now when you wake up, you're not just waking up and going through the motions, or you're not trying to go to ChatGPT and figure this out last minute. You got your whole day planned. You can see it. Okay, this is where I got to be at 9 a.m. This is where I got to be at 10 a.m. This is where I need to be at 11 a.m. So just make sure that you got all of that stuff scripted so you can see it. And then create a roadmap. Okay, well, I need once you create your whole business, which we created it on AI, you take that whole thing we created. Let's say you want to give yourself 6 weeks. Mm-hmm. Give yourself a 6-week setup to what you need to do hour by hour every day. And now you looking at your phone, these are the hours I'm free. 6 o'clock, I need to be here. By 7 o'clock, I got to do this. If somebody want to do something at 8 o'clock, this is your first priority. Because every time, if you pick basketball, if you pick a friend, if you pick a girl, you're saying that they're more important than the goal. If your goal is your most important thing, that's your first priority every day. So you don't get anything. Like for me, I do all of my checklists in the morning. I don't do anything before I do that. If my checklist is not done, I'm not going nowhere. So just make sure you do like a 6-week setup of whatever that look like for you. but it has to go in your calendar hour by hour. Like the same way your phone go off, have your alarm go off. Like, hey, I need to do this at this time and work your way down there. Because successful businesses, the CEOs is just okay with being boring. I'm okay with coming down here and shooting an hour podcast every week. And I'm probably going to shoot like 2 other videos that's probably going to be around an hour. But I'm okay with that's the boring work you have to do. And that's not even including all the stuff I got to do in my business. I still got to have a meeting with one of my employees today. But it's like that's the type of boring work that's going to keep that consistent revenue coming in, staying on top of everything, making sure you executing every day. It's the small, and make sure you celebrate the small wins. If you go, let's say if you go your first day by finishing everything on your checklist, you can be like, oh, snaps. Let me go out and celebrate this. This is the first time I ever got through my whole checklist. Now try to like, okay, I did a day. Let's do a week. Okay, I get through this week. Like, oh man, I got through a whole week in my checklist. Let me go celebrate. Oh, I got through 2 weeks, and keep stacking those good days on each other. Mm-hmm. If you do that, because business work like this, most people, this is what people want to do. They want to go from here and they want to get here, and it don't work like that. You're going to fall on your face every time you try to do that. Mm-hmm. Because I'll give you another example. Would you want to be in, let's shoot for like LeBron James. Everybody know who that is. Would you want to be in LeBron James' position?
I mean, yeah, I guess you could say yeah.
Would you argue that mostly everybody would?
No.
Mostly everybody would want to be. Who wouldn't want to have LeBron James money and be the face of the NBA?
Not everybody.
Right. So when I say that, I say this. Most people don't want to be like LeBron. They want LeBron's results. They don't want to wake up every day and put in the work he put in. They don't want to have to be away from their family for probably half a year, if not more, on the road traveling all the time. They don't want to give up their favorite food and be on a strict diet and play 20 years no matter how you feel. If you feel like shit, you got to get up and get the work in. If you feel great, you got to get the work in. If you're tired, you got to get up. They don't want that part of it. So we live in an instant gratification world. If you want to be something, you have to put the work in. People want results. They don't want to go through what it took. Everybody want to be a millionaire. But don't nobody want to put in the work that a millionaire had to put in to get there.
Yeah.
Like people like see is like, oh man, Elon Musk, he made this company, he built it up to billions of dollars. Talk about where he started at. Talk about day one. Talk about like, imagine how it must have been for him telling somebody in a time like where it wasn't a thing that he about to make an electric car. How do you think people looked at him? You ever think about that?
No, I never have.
Just think, what do you think somebody said when he was like, yeah, I'm going to make an electric car. And yeah, I'm going to have most gas cars off the road. People probably laughed at him. Mm-hmm. Like, just think of like the guy who created Google. He did that in the garage. He was in the garage for plenty of years. People want the results of building a company like that, but they don't want to be in that garage for years getting laughed at. They don't want to put in 8 years of work with no results. Every day you show up, get it done. You believe in something that don't even seem possible. Don't nobody want to do that. They want the results, but that's why they're never going to get there, because they don't want the journey. The journey is the most important part. That's the least glorified part. That's the part that people don't talk about. But if you want to get here, don't skip these steps. The executor and the person that's okay with doing the boring work, that's the person that's going to get here. If you don't do that internal work, it don't matter. Like, you know what type of work happened when these cameras turn off. Mm-hmm. Most people only get to see us talk for an hour.
But I don't see it. We've been here for like 5.
Right. And I probably got 8 more to go. But it's like that's the part that people don't want. Like, people want like, hey, I want this car, or I want your income, or how much money you make this year. Like, okay, this is what it takes to get it. Because we can, like, I can break down my whole strategy of everything I did to get my company to where it's at. Ain't nobody going to go out and do that. Nobody's going to do the work.
That's like this one thing. I don't know if you ever heard of it, but I'm not 100% like all what it was, because I can like vaguely remember it. Right. But I remember saying somebody like you know, when you're going through your terms and conditions and you gotta like click the buttons and all this and that to like get past to the next step, like if you're filling out an application or
Right.
whatever.
Yeah.
They said, well, that they put like a cash money thing. It was like $20,000. But all that stuff you have to read through, and most people will scroll through it, they won't read it. But
They
if
bank on
people
that.
would have read it, they would have been able to get that free money that they would never knew though. You know
Wait, that's on what?
it was a thing I heard about like years ago.
Yeah.
It's like people don't want to go through all the stuff and scroll because
Yeah.
you know most of the time you gotta scroll to get past the next step. They put some money in there and they
Right.
skip past it because nobody really knew
Right.
because they don't want to go through all the busy work to get to where they need to be. They want to skip like you said from here going straight up there.
And that's the thing though. It's like even to this day, I get DMs all the time where people like, and I hate this word, but I understand it's part of our lingo. Put me on to the play. You got to put me on. And like people think that what I'm doing is some type of secret. It's not. Like anybody can do with the correct information. Anybody can do what I'm doing, but you got to show up every day. Like, because that's the thing. If you want to make $500,000 in your business, you got to serve thousands of people. So now you got to do that work. So you got to do the work if you want the results. And that's the part that people are not willing to do. So it's just like, you can tell, like, for somebody that's been through the process, you can be around somebody for a period of time and you can look and be like, okay, this person is probably ain't going to work out for this person. Because you can see it because I've been through it. Like, I'm somebody that's like, said made six figures, lost everything, made six figures, lost. Like, I've been through that process, 5 times over the last decade. So I know what both sides of that look like. So you can't sob story me to death, or you can't tell me what it looks like on the other side. I've been through it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm somebody who thought, oh, all of this money is mine. Let me go buy this. Let me go buy. Man, it was bad. Like, when I first started making real money, like I probably owned 10 cars at that point. And I was still like, I had 2 rental cars that I was renting out, Challengers, and I owned 2 Challengers of my own because I was reckless with money.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to prove to people so bad that I got this and I got that. But it was just like that mindset of trying to prove yourself to people, like all of those. And that's why it's like, I can't make fun of people that come into money and go broke because I did it. It was just on a much lower scale because I had the money, but I didn't have credit or I didn't have financial literacy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I said, for what you said earlier, when you was like, I think that's common sense. That's because you've been around a lot of successful people and you heard them preach it to you. Mm-hmm. You heard it. So like you're around it. So you're open to, you've been around that type of information. There's a lot of people that never heard people talk like that. That's not in those circles, haven't been in those rooms and heard those conversations.
Yeah, so they just gonna go based off of their feelings and emotions at the moment.
Listen, you got to remember this though. We've been misled since kids. Just like I told you, like my mindset when I was young was, I grew up in the inner city. The coolest person to me was the drug dealers. It didn't get no cooler than the drug dealers to me because they had a pocket full of money and they had all the girls and they had flashy cars. I didn't know that the money that they were showing, that they was flossing, I didn't know that was every dime they had. I didn't know they didn't have a bank account. I didn't know that was all they re-up money. I didn't know that they couldn't spend that money. That was what they needed to stay afloat. Mm-hmm. I didn't understand financial literacy. I didn't understand how irresponsible they was with money. That's the coolest you could have been in that time period to me. But just think about like rappers. Think about athletes. They trick us into what wealth is. Because we think that when we get some money, what we think, we like shiny things because that's what we saw other people do. But most people who did that is broke now. What they try to trick us with, the shiny chains, the $100,000 watches, all of this jewelry, the luxury cars, the big lifestyle. But they never taught us like assets. They never told us what liability was. They never told us to invest our money. They never told us how to manage it because once you know the game, getting money is easy. That's simple. Managing and keeping it is the hard part. Mm-hmm. That's the real game. So it's just like in the beginning, I knew how to make money over and over again, but I kept losing it because I didn't know how to manage it. I didn't have any financial literacy skills. So I would say the most important thing is once you get into this, if you're looking to get your credit repaired, make more money first. Make enough money to afford your lifestyle. Now fix your credit. Now look to leverage. Now look to do everything else. But get your personal life in order first. And that's the step that most people skip over. Why they don't see success.
Cause that they need to go through them steps, like you said. Like most people want to go here and go there. So at this point, that they need to just take step by step, basically. Like it's really hard to get from that.
Because I would say
it's a process.
Right, it is. I would say the most important thing for me that shifted, that took me from being unsuccessful to successful, my mindset went from, I'll tell you. So I've been a person to struggle with evictions. I've been a person that had the gas turned off, the water turned off. Like, I know what that looked like. I've been a person that messed up my credit when I got it. So that's the other thing I'm saying. Once I fixed my credit, I messed it up again. Because when I first got the credit, I still ain't had a financial literacy. I didn't understand assets and liabilities. I was just making money moving. And I'm also the person now that understands that money is a tool. So when you talk to me now about financial literacy, I've been through all 3 phases. I've lost everything 5 times. So I'm the right person to talk to about this topic. So I've been the person that understands, like, okay, money is just to live paycheck to paycheck. As soon as I get money in my mind, I already spent it. How many times have you done that?
Almost every time.
and that's the mindset. I've been the person who had the credit and put out more money than I had coming in. And also now I'm the person that uses money as a tool and understand leveraging. I'm not thinking to, hey, if I make 40,000, I'm gonna buy this for 39,000. I'm thinking if I got 40, I could probably play with 5, put this here for the team, and put this here to scale the business. That's how my mind worked now. So the only thing that changed was my mindset. The people that I'm around, like-minded people. So it's like you can't outwork a bad environment.
No, not at all.
Like, and I'm somebody that I used to think that I could because I was such a hustler. Like, in my mind, I was always somebody that was going to make some money. I was never going to be broke. So I thought that, man, I can hang around whoever I want and I'm still going to make money. I can be out chilling with girls all of the time. But as soon as I cut down all of that stuff that I thought to be true, my income tripled. Just by changing my surroundings and changing my mindset. My income literally tripled in months by just changing my mindset. My view on how I see money had changed, and it changed my life.
I'll say this is a change in my life too, because my personal situation. I had, well, it's not all, but my last recent one, I'm gonna say, like, how that went, and that's just like, I don't want to be around that type of people no more. Like I'm gonna take a whole new path now, and it's actually helping me and making me more focused and stuff like that. So I can definitely agree with you on that. Like, being around certain people can weigh you down a lot, and I feel like it's the same in business. Like, if you got an assistant, I feel like it got to be somebody you're really close with, someone that you can trust to help you, like, really bring your business to scale. And if you got somebody bad, they'll tear you down, which I'm pretty sure you probably have some experience in that too, right?
I would say that I had a bad experience trying to hire people close to me, and that's a good topic, and I'm glad you brought it up because I do want to speak on that because it's very important. I will say that I try to create a team based off who somebody was for me and not the skills that they had for the position that I needed. And you got to understand that, let's say if you try to hire cousin Lisa, right? And you need her to do sales. Cousin Lisa never done sales a day of her life. But understand that you're still cousin Kevon, right? So anytime she slack off, she can lean on your relationship and who you are to her. And that's the part that we don't think. We think just because this person is loyal to me personally, so she'll be great in business. You still got to have the skills. Because anytime you hire somebody, whatever position you hire them for, they better be better than you at it if you want them to execute. During the interview, if I'm hiring an appointment setter, during the interview, he should be teaching me stuff that I don't understand. He should be a better communicator than me. He should be more organized than me. He should be a better responder than I am. And I would say lean away from hiring family because they tend to lean on that relationship when it come to doing stuff because they're not going to take you as serious as a job because you're Kevon. You are who you are to them. So I'll say with team building, I lean on SOPs and I have a 3-strike rule. So I don't have to fire you, you fire yourself. You make this mistake, you got 2 more chances. You make this mistake, you got 1 more chance. You know that. So that SOP is going to make you tighten up. The training is going to make you tighten up. So I record everything I do. I give somebody a SOP and I give them training and material and I'll give them like a couple days and then I'll have like an interview with them. I'll hop on the call and have an interview with them and go over that process. So I got a real strict hiring process because when it comes to hiring, man, I've been through everything. Like I seen the ugly. Like it's crazy. So I would say like the first 10 people I hired, I fired all of them fast, but I hired them fast too. And I was talking to a mentor about it. And I was like, man, it's hard because people say, hey, look, if you, excuse me, I keep burping. But yeah, people will say, if you're trying to scale your company, you got to hire people and build a team. But they make it sound simple. I didn't even know what an SOP was when I went to hire my first employee. I've never been in a position where I had to train somebody and lead them and oversee them. So the first 10 people I hired, I tell my mentor, like, hey, they all suck. I fired all of them. So he was like, why did you fire them? Did you do this? I was like, nah. He was like, did you record everything that you did and give it to them? You create an SOP? What's that? He said, they're not bad employees. You're a bad CEO. You're a bad boss. You're a bad leader. And that hit me different. I'm thinking like, damn, I need to get my shit together. I need to work on being a better leader. Or this company ain't going to go nowhere because, you know, you don't stay stagnant in business. That's not a thing. You either scaling or you going out of business. And that shifted my whole mindset on the hiring process.
So, like, what did you change exactly, like, drastically from there?
Everything in my business is systemized. Everything in my business is built off principles. There is no buddy in my business. So there's a SOP for every position and every employee in my business. By 8 a.m., this is what you do. By 9 a.m., this is what you do. By 10. So it's like I know that on Sunday, I plan everybody's schedule. This is what I need for the week. This is the KPIs. This is what I need. I want to have a meeting on, let's just say, Wednesday. Everything in my business is systemized. Everything has an SOP. Everybody you need to talk to this many people today. You need to dispute this many people credit today. So I know I can look at my stuff. I can look at my outreach and I can project what type of money I would make next month and a month after that. Because of the system. I have a well-oiled machine that works over and over and over again. And I think that's what a lot of unsuccessful entrepreneurs don't have.
Okay. So, like, based off of your systems and all that, when it came down to hiring, like, is there a system to where, like, you hire them? Like, do you have somebody else doing the interviews? Like, do you do them now? Like, is there a system for that?
Okay. Let's say if I wanted to train you for sales. First thing I would do is I would record myself selling to 10 people or record the other salesmen selling to 10 people. I'm going to take the sales script and then I'm going to create a video breaking down why I do hey, this is why we do the intro this way. This is why we ask this question. This is why we break down the credit report. This is the psychology on why I'm selling them. And then I'm going to explain if somebody say they don't have the money, do this. If somebody does this, then you do this. I'm going to make a video with the SOP with instructions to do that. And you're going to have 10 recordings. And then me and my assistant is going to role play with you on sales calls. So you won't actually get on the phone with an actual customer until maybe 3 days into your training. But I'll give them like bad leads or leads that we haven't got through it. And I'll let them work those leads first. So once they work, let's say 10, 20, 30, 40 of those leads. And I feel like, okay, your process is pretty good. Now we give them warm leads, the hot leads, and see if they can close at that level. So it is a process to how you hire, if that makes sense. Did I answer your question?
Yeah. I actually kind of like that. That's a smooth like little process that you got them going through just to know. Because if they suck at either all three of those levels, then they can't help you scale.
That's what I'm saying. If you have, and that's what I mean by systems. You can't fake that.
Yeah.
Like you can't get through those steps, like because all of your calls is being recorded. So I can listen to your calls, like, oh, he's not doing this, he's not doing that, he's not paying attention, he's not taking notes,
So
or he's
do you
not giving
think that
injections.
don't put like a lot of pressure on them at all? Like
Sales
like,
is high pressure. Sales is a high pressure position.
so are you just hiring people that did sales before, or no?
Yeah. I want some. Listen, if I hire somebody at any position in my company, I want you to be better than me at it. Because I don't want to hire down because my business get worse. Sometimes you will, but my goal is not to hire down. Like by me being the owner and selling on the phone, it'll probably be easier and the clients will feel more comfortable selling from me because it's like it gives them a sense of comfort. So in a sense, when you hire a salesperson, your conversion rate will go down. But it's just like you might have to tweak your system some and figure that out. So it's just growing pains. So it's like what I'm telling you, like all of this stuff with hiring, this took me years to figure out. Like I fell on my face a lot, but that's why people come to me and they pay me to teach them from my years of failure and success. Without the failure, I won't have the success. I had to fall on my face and figure it out. Read books, listen to podcasts, pay tens of thousands of dollars to other mentors to learn this information.
Mm.
And that's how we get here.
No, you scaling where you at now, man. Now it's time to help everybody grow.
Yes, sir.
You got that link in this bio?
Yes, sir. We will have the link in the bio if anybody wants to reach out. If anybody want to reach out, book a call, get an ebook and learn this stuff if they're not ready for mentorship. And we can go from there. I appreciate y'all watching another episode of the Mind Behind the Money podcast. On that note, we out of here. See y'all in the next one.